there's a danger. There's a danger that lurks around the corner with the bait like a trap that pulls the strings of our deepest heart's longings. This danger is something that I fight against daily, and this is a danger that I cannot stand by and let gobble up the people of my generation, the people who are a little bit ahead of me, the people who are a little bit behind me in this walk, this journey that we're going on. The danger that I see, the danger that threatens to end our search for joy and our search for fulfillment, and more importantly, growth of the kingdom of Jesus, is the danger of safety. Safety has become an idol that plagues mankind so much that we will sacrifice anything for it. We will sacrifice obedience to the King that we have set as Lord of our life. We will fight for safety no matter what it takes. No matter if we have to offer up ourselves to the altar of complacency, safety has become, well, worth more than it actually should be. What we need more in this life is a return to the message of Jesus when he spoke to the people in John 10. A kind of security. Because there is security in Jesus. There's hope. And there's not safety, though. No, there's not safety. Matt Papa said it right in his song, "Stay away from Jesus if you're not willing to be a little unsafe." Jesus said it very well when he said, "You're in my hand, and if you're my sheep, nobody's getting you away from me. What my Father has given me is greater than everything, and no one can snatch them out of my Father's hand." You see, Jesus talked about safety from his perspective. The safety of Jesus, the safety of God, was the safety that says, nobody is taking you away from me. And I think in our hearts we want safety. We need it. We seek that in relationships. We seek that in not going far from our family. We seek safety in just not messing with the status quo, having the same kind of phone, expecting the same kind of life and socioeconomic class as our parents. Safety. But Jesus says, I created you for safety. It's to be my sheep, for me to hold you, and for no one to be able to take you away from me. In the same chapter, Jesus continues to talk to them about being God himself, and he had been living this out for a long time, and they had noticed, and it had bothered them, and they saw it as blasphemy because he was claiming to be God. The religious, safe, they saw Jesus as a threat to what they had going on. And three different times during this conversation about the sheep that he had in his hand, they either picked up stones or he created division among them. Jesus did not lead a kingdom and a mission of safety, but Jesus led a mission of obedience, submission to God, and he had this mission that safety was barely even down on his list. They almost killed him, but he slipped away. He knew when to slip away, and then another time he gave up his life. In this chapter, he is very clear that he gives up his life for the sheep. Are you willing to give up your life? Would you live for Jesus with everything that you have? With the kind of phone you have? Would you live for Jesus with where your house is, where your address is? Would you live for Jesus with what you do with your relationship status? Would you be willing to die for him? Would I? As I read, as I memorize, as I go over John 10, I am challenged to live a life that is in radical submission and obedience to Jesus, and leaving safety behind and saying, Jesus, the safety I long for is in your hand. The safety I long for is to never, ever be snatched away from you. It's a trap. Safety. It's an idol. Don't fall for it. Long for Jesus. Long for obedient submission to a God that will never, ever let you go. Hold on to that safety. Enjoy it. Love it. Soak it up. And live your life. Die a death that risks everything. That risks everything, like the good shepherd that is willing to die for you, and know that you are secure. oh, his safety is beautiful. His safety is worth more than any safety, any surrogate safety that is fake that this world has to offer. Young person, let me speak to you for just a moment here. Peer. When I think of you, Epaphroditus, my peer, my fellow soldier who's trying to live out their faith for Jesus and who so diligently supports other people. That's you if you're watching this. Thank you so much for praying for the ministry that's going on here. I challenge you to seek out real and lasting joy. The funny thing is that idols have a way of poking at, trying to establish a kind of confidence that God gives us in joy, the kind that we were designed for. So I challenge you to leverage everything that you have in your life. This includes your summers, this includes your relationships, this includes your free time, and this includes your career. We are not to live in this life in order to produce a better version of ourselves. That's a lie from the devil. We are not on this life to laugh a lot. We are not in this life to be saved. I challenge you to leverage what you have for something bigger than yourself. You know what you seek out so much? What I find that I seek out, at least for me, when I look into social media and I want to be heard and I want other people to see what I do and say, wow, that guy's awesome, is I want to be a little bigger than me, you know? I'm not big enough for this world and I feel inadequate. I don't know if you do too, but the searching that you're doing to feel adequate, to feel involved, to feel like your life has meaning, don't look for that in a career. Don't look for that in a person. Do not look for that in a romantic relationship. Don't look for that in a place to live. Look for that in the community of God that is sealed with a promise that the gates of hell will not stand against his church. Join the mission of his church to reach the world for the head, Jesus Christ. I'm telling you that is where you will find true lasting joy, young person. Do this while you still can. Until God gifts us with marriage and family and kids, do this, please. If you've just graduated from high school or college, do this. You have a chance right now when you are not as weighted down with obligations and house payments. Give your future over to Jesus. And inside of that, he may just weave in a family and a career. He may just weave in some smiles and some social media accounts. But in it, you will experience submission and obedience to a God that designed you to love him, to know him, and to worship him. And that is where you're going to find true happiness. Don't fall for safety.